Hey there, javelin throwers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to The Last Plague Blight. Episode 12, Bear Hunting. Where's the billows? Or bellows. Wow, I can't spell. Bellow. There it is. So I have twice as many nails as I needed. Oh well. So 4 planks and 3 leather pieces. So the leather piece is going to be easy because I've been processing leather this whole time. So there's my leather pieces, plus 1. And then 4 planks. I think I have that back here. Don't really. Fine, whatever. So I need a saw to make it. Oh, I don't even need a workbench. Oh, that's easy. My saw is what, over here? Yep. Oh, no, it does require a workbench. I need a saw and a workbench. You can also, if you're wondering, store your tools in your workbench. I don't want to do that because my workbench doesn't have a roof over it. But it allows you to nest your tools in so that you don't have to, like, go grab them every time, which is convenient. So now I have the bellows. Sweet. I'm going to put them down just so I can move around. So then the last part of the hearth furnace here is the 10 clay bricks and the mud mortar. So let's make 10 clay bricks. And I've completely unblighted myself. I'm no longer a blight, which is great. So the rest of this, my hydration can go. I might want to make ginseng tea because I did. Actually, I'm pretty tired, but I don't know what time it is in game. Let me check. Yeah, I should get ginseng tea. So it's night in 12 hours and I need 8 hours of sleep, but I'm already pretty sleepy. So a little ginseng tea is in order. It would be great to use that bigger pot before I go to sleep. For what? For water? I'll make sure I top up my water before I go to sleep. I am, eventually gonna get at least one spot of clay tile roof. Probably wherever I put my bed. So for all of the extra clay that I have, I want to fill up the kiln with it. So 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Alright, get a batch of that. If I didn't fat finger, this should be all the clay tile roof I need. I'll probably end up with excess clay tiles, but given how much clay is around where I live, wasting a little extra clay on clay tiles isn't going to kill me. That, and maybe you like the look of clay tiles, and I end up clay tiling a lot more than I had planned. Perfect! I am running low on charcoal, So at some point I'm going to need to make another charcoal batch. I do still have a little bit left. I think it can get away with just 33 minutes of charcoal fuel. It's raining. So this might have to take a back seat because of the rain. Maybe, yeah, it's already wet. Well, I can, trying to think of what I could do in the meantime. I can remove the stumps I don't want. That's probably a bad use of my stamina. Maybe. Yeah, everything's getting wet. Because I don't really have a full roof over everything yet. I can make the mud mortar, I guess, for the hearth. I'll do that. So, 1,250 mud mortar. I've got 200. So about 1,000 mud mortar is all I need. That's 800. Oh, too small of a batch. How much do I have total? There we go. So to answer your question, you can use the pot instead of the bowl for boiling. The reason I don't do that is when you're making things like tea, you have to have twice as many reagents and you make twice as much tea, and then it ties up the fire pit for a while. So if you end up making giant batches of tea, well then you can't cook on your pot, right? So that's why I'm making smaller batches so that I don't lock up the facilities, essentially. So here's the lovely hearth furnace. Let's put it right here. So I added the mud mortar, I added the bellows, and then all it needs is the bricks. So if all you wanted to do was just hydrate and have tons and tons and tons of water, certainly the clay pot is better because it has higher capacity, but I'm not just using it for hydration, I'm using it for, you know, other things as well. What is reasonable, however, is for me to make a water skin, which is something I was about to do. So I'm going to make a big batch of water for the water skin. Oh, I don't have my knife. Oh, I do have my knife, and that's dumb, because it's been getting rained on this whole time. Oopsie poopsie. Let's put the knife away then. There's also leather gloves and leather small bags. This relates to the mysterious letter quest. I'm not going to bother making them just yet, because I don't need to. But the water skin now can hold water for convenient travel. So for things like bowls, well, no, that's not entirely true. I'm going to demonstrate something with my new flint chisel blade. So if I get a short plank, I can craft a wood stopper using the flint chisel blade. And the wood stopper can be added to the top of a clay pot to keep the clay pot from evaporating so quickly. It's not exactly a convenient method to travel with a liquid, but I can add a lid and then put the clay pot in my backpack. Without a clay lid, the water would spill out. But instead, what I'm going to do is fill the water skin, because the water skin is a lot smaller and lighter than the giant clay pot. So the only way to move, like, pots of water or bowls of water is to have it in your hands to keep it from spilling. But a water skin can just be plopped in your inventory, no problem. So now I have a full water skin full of water. That was redundant. So that if I'm thirsty while traveling, I got plenty. And it doesn't have to be just water. It could be ginseng tea. It could be chamomile tea. It could be blight curatives. You know, they're all allowed to be in a. It's just a generic liquid container. Oh, I miscalculated how much leather I needed. Oops. Okay, what else can I do while I wait? So my fire's about to burn out. I'd rather it not. If it has tea, does it say? Yeah, if you mouse over it, it will tell you what's in it. So this is a mix of rainwater and potable water. Because some of the water that it's funny that the game even differentiates between the two, but the clay pot that I put into the fireplace had some rainwater in it. So it's even telling me that it's a mix of two different types of water, which is probably unnecessary to go in that level of detail, but it provides it all the same. Yeah, I can also make berry juice. I'm probably going to want to do that at some point, but not just yet. So what I'll do is I'm going to have a covered clay lid, and I can have this. I'll put it somewhere else. I can have just like clean water in that all the time if I wanted to. Oh, even my coal got wet. I'll put this wet coal away to dry in this box for now. I'm trying to think of something to do while it rains. I could just like... Oh, here's some bones. You know, speaking of bones, let's till some soil. That's a good thing to do. The reason being, when you plant crops, you have to water them. It stopped raining, didn't it? Damn you! Alright, well that means I can go back to my original plan. Haha! All I had to do was claim that I wanted to use the rain, and it stopped raining. So, make a hearth furnace is back on the menu. I swear, the moment I said that I wanted to do something with the rain, it stopped raining. It was like perfect clockwork. Oh god, don't land on me! That's a very awkward place for a tree. I hope I can remove it. Yeah, I can. Ow. The game kind of doesn't want you to, like, leave cut down trees forever. So what's happening here is I, like, left the logs, and they just kind of glitched out a bit. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter. As long as it doesn't get all... Oh, look! A wolf hunting a deer on the horizon. One thing I really like about this game, which a lot of other games get wrong, is... I like to see the world as dynamic. And there's a lot of games where they'll have, like, deer and wolves, and they just, like, walk around each other, and they don't actually hunt each other. And there's been many occasions where, like, wolves will chase a rabbit into my camp, scaring the hell out of me. And that kind of, like, emergent, dynamic world just feels... It's really cool. And a lot of games just don't have it. And it's a real shame that it doesn't, because it makes a big difference about how alive the game feels for very little effort. Oh, Jesus. Yep. Get the fire lit! Get it lit! Yeah. I have a lit fire now. You can piss off. Reason number 1 to have a lit fire. It scares animals. And they don't need to, like, line of sight on it. It will scare them all the same. Oh, I screwed up. This is an awkward mix of both potable and toxic water, and it won't let me reboil it. Let me do that again. I might need to do something about this wolf. But for now, it's leave me alone-ish. Probably when I go to sleep, it will, like, leave. If the fire's lit. So the next thing I wanted to light was the bloomery. Oh, you know what? Or build the hearth furnace, rather. So, the kiln. So, sorry, I have to borrow the charcoal from here. Put it there. And I'm running low on kindling and tinder. That's something to be solved later on. There we go. So the bricks required for the hearth furnace are in progress. I think the wolf wandered away. Ballsy rabbit walking right up to me. Thinking out loud. The next thing I'm gonna want is to fire up this bloomery, but I need more charcoal for it. So I should make another run of charcoal fuel. Let's use this weird floating tree. Can I even reach this? I can. Okay, cool. And it's nighttime. First towel's indicator of nighttime. Doesn't mean I need to go to sleep immediately. Bonk. Pretty soon. So maybe overnight, the last thing I'll do is make charcoal for the bloomery burn. So this time it's going to be a bigger charcoal pile to make a larger batch. They're more efficient in larger batches, if you were wondering. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, there we go. And that clay brick kiln probably has all the bricks now for the hearth furnace. You can make a cheesy wall. Little spoiler, it's not something I'm going to use, but you can set up logs vertically. And because logs can't really take damage, they make for a very good anti-animal wall. But it's super cheese, and I'm not going to use it as a result. Because they can't come in, and if it's narrow enough that you can get through, but... I mean, wide enough that you can get through, but narrow enough that the animals can't, like, you're effectively immortal. Because, you know, you got a wall. But, yeah, again, too cheesy for me to use. I would not consider it. Alright, so that's the firewood for this. Then the next thing is I need regular sticks for it. I'll maybe make the batch in the morning. I don't seem to be able to leave the base right now. I could cut up my, like, my long sticks for it, but I don't really want to do that. Because I only have so many long sticks. And they're way more annoying to forage for. So, let's just go to sleep. Perfect. 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours till morning. Exactly what we want to see. I'm guessing all the jerky I made is probably rotted now. No, still good. Nice. Some of it rotted. No, those were just strips of rotted meat. I don't think that's spoiled jerky. Can you carry a torch to scare animals away? You can carry a torch. Whether it actually scares them away or not, that's a different matter. Why do I have pebbles in here? I gotta throw those in my pebble pile. Okay. Energy, food, water, and health are basically all full. The hearth furnace is done. And the hearth furnace heats up wrought iron nuggets with charcoal to make steel. Alright, I'm going to make a choice here to disassemble the leaf roof that I've got going on. And because I have enough clay tiles to replace it with clay. And I think, given the abundance of clay that I live around, it's not unreasonable just to build a whole lot of clay roofing. But the other reason is I needed sticks, and these pine branches can be turned into sticks pretty easy. So craft with, or rather, build with, clay roof. So instead of living under branches, I can live under a proper clay roof. Which will be nice. There. And I have a few tiles left over that'll stick in the backyard. My very messy backyard. Full of dead rabbits and felled trees. So I wanted to start the charcoal burn, because I'm not really going to be able to make steel without charcoal. And that was an easy way to do it. I have almost all the sticks I need. Yes! Chase the rabbit and go away! Love it. Get out of here. Oh, another rabbit came around. Go away, rabbits! You're attracting bears. Oh, here's old coyote bones. Once I start farming, all these bones are gonna start farming and have a steel hammer. These bones are gonna be really nice to have. So now, I wanted to get sticks. The easiest way to get sticks is to just cut down bushes, but it's kind of far away, so I'll just cut down small trees. That's about the same. Just to get that charcoal pile going. And these felled trees from the small trees that you cut down are just the right size for long planks, so I'll leave them for now. Because these giant trees I live around create a lot more, you know, short planks than they do long planks. I have enough bone to start like a French catacomb. It's getting kind of evil looking around my base. I don't want to break like 1,000 like a 1,000 stones to break those up into bone meal, which is why I'm leaving it until I have a hammer, but it's getting kind of silly. So the last part of the medium charcoal pile is just regular dirt or mud. Need 10k of it. Oh, even more bones. And more bones. A lot of things died around my base. A lot of things died around my base. There's 2 dead coyotes and a dead rabbit right over there too. Oh, I'll get that. So, I said what, 10,000? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, okay. Let's grab the bones now. I promise, the bones are worth having in the long run. Even if it's creating a bunch of clutter now. I need about twice as much dirt. You don't need to put bones in your fire to dry them. They'll dry on their own, just like laying on the ground. It's just faster to put it in the fire. And less messy, because having a big, weird pile of bones in your base looks a little odd. Oh, even more rabbits. Oh my god. I should have come out here with the shovel. It would have been a little bit faster. So once I have the hearth furnace, I imagine you're going to want me to do tool crafting, but if you want to vote against that for farming or continuing to build, feel free to vote against that. I'll leave it up to you. Oops, I'm like kicking around bones in my base. It really does get messy. I was not exaggerating. Didn't I have twigs somewhere? Okay, fine. I'll make new twigs. So in about 5 hours, I'll have a lot more charcoal pieces. So that's what got me bottlenecked for finishing a bloom. So the bloomery is already full of tinder and kindling. And I'll do the same for the hearth furnace. So once I have the charcoal, we can fire up our first batch of steel. Sexy stuff. All right. Looks good. I'm liking this base. Whoops. His bones are still drying. And... Alright, let's not break our own gate. I'm trying to lock it. I need to wait about 4 hours for the charcoal. And I really don't have any other charcoal. Let me check. I do have 2. Is that enough for a bloom? No. 53 minutes, 33 minutes. It is not enough. So, yep, we're just waiting on this batch of charcoal to be done so that I can actually make some iron blooms. One thing I will mention is before you start, just a little tip, not a big spoiler. Before you start with the iron blooms, make sure you have a lot of small rocks, because you're going to need to, once you get the iron blooms, you have to break down the iron from slag and wrought iron. And for that, you need a bunch of rocks. And if you don't have the rocks ahead of time, then you're going to have a bunch of iron blooms that get cold. When you have cold iron blooms, they're not hard to heat back up. You just have to put them in your fire pit, like I did the bones. So it's not, you know, the end of the world if you have cold iron blooms, but you're not going to be able to work them over without a hammer of some sort. Yeah, I mean, I see the bear. It's been minding its own business for the most part, which is why I've left it alone. So I'm just hanging around the base, trying to do base things while I wait for the charcoal to be done. And it looks like we're going to continue tool crafting. So to prevent the game from like going all sorts of crazy, when I these felled trees going vertical or whatever, I'm going to get them to be... Oh, wow, that bear is getting real close. I might need to deal with it. And the reason I'm lining them up as vertical logs is these logs can be turned into planks or firewood. But once I decide to turn them into planks or firewood, there's no switching planks or firewood, right? They're stuck. So I'm just prepping them for future use and getting them off of the ground so that I can walk around a little bit more freely. I think I'm going to have to deal with that bear. He's getting a little nosy. I think the bear smells food I have somewhere in the base. and is hanging out around the base for that reason. Oh my god, my aim is awful. Don't break my charcoal pile, you maniac. What are you, attacking hot coals? And yes, you can repair a charcoal pile. Don't ask. I don't feel like carving up new spears, so I'm just fetching the spears that I used. I should, however, fighting a bear, turn red. I think that would be appropriate. This is a war. I'm at war with this bear. Die! Stop breaking my stuff! Well, better the stuff than me, but go away. Or die. I don't really care which. So if I keep backpedaling to my fireplace, the bear won't fully run to me. It's a black bear, not a grizzly. Grizzlies in this game are called brown bears. I just refuse to call them brown bears. And they usually do like a lunge, and then they kind of reset. So between the lunges, you can just grab your spears. I could make a lot more spears, though. That wouldn't be necessarily unreasonable, because I have a giant amount of long sticks. I just don't want to tie up the long... Like, once you make a spear, you can't unmake it, so... But in this case, he's like... basically bodyguarding the rest of my spears, so I'm gonna have to make some spears. Fine. Now, I can make the spears with the what did I call this? The flint chisel? I don't need to use a knife. Oh, no, I do need to use a knife. I thought I didn't. Okay, fine. Knife it is. But, I take it back. He kind of disengaged. So I'm gonna be able to fetch... my old spears and keep throwing them. I haven't forgotten what you did to my base. You're gonna die. You're gonna get a new butthole by the time I'm done. Chasing a bear way out into the wilderness is, like, maybe not the wisest idea, but I'm committed. Committed to aiming poorly. Oh my god. Forests are tricky to throw spears. And I missed through all of those. Because there's terrain height differences and trees and bushes, and I'm just missing a whole lot. Alright, there we go. This one's 100% broken. Which isn't going to hit for much. Oh, you're dead! Fatty. You're 37% contaminated? I don't really want to eat you. That is... no. No thanks. But the fat can be turned into torches. And tallow for candles. And you don't eat torches or candles? Well, like, I don't. If you want to eat torches and candles, like, whatever. If you have pica, that's cool. But I don't have pica, so... And as I said before, the black bear fur doesn't do anything. You can't tan it. I suspect eventually the game will have seasons. And you'll need black bear fur to keep warm, but that isn't in the game yet, so there's no purpose in collecting it. Alright, these spears are totally just destroyed, so I'm just adding them to the fire. Thank you for tuning in to The Last Plague Blight, which will really stream live on Twitch October 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that I'm trying to avoid spoilers to not ruin this game for others. So if you could avoid spoilers, that would be great. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Blight survivors.